Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for joining me again. Speaking of again, here we go again. Today's topic is more drama in Dumaguete. I tell you, that place, I don't know what it is. It just attracts such negative vibes, and coming mostly from expats. A couple of months ago, there were some YouTubers that all lived there, and they were having quarrels amongst each other about, a guy that lied about different things, and he was a con or an ex-con, I guess you call him, because he's out. But, a lot of drama. And it's always been that way. Ever since I moved here, Dumaguete's always had that drama, with dating girls there and that sort of thing. But now it seems like with such an influx of expats in that small community, it's really elevated to a whole new level. And just recently, I heard and read about a vlogger there that moved back to the U.S. and he had a Filipina girlfriend who had a daughter, and they broke up, I guess, and now she's accusing him of sexually abusing her daughter. Now, I'm not going to mention any names. I met the guy a couple of times before, just briefly at the airport. I saw him, but I won't talk about names or anything like that. You probably, if you're familiar with the story, you probably know what's going on. But I tell you, it's nuts there. And I don't know what it is about Dumaguete, but that's a place I would never live. I visited there a few times. I've got a couple of friends that live there, so I go there to see them. They're both vloggers, so I go see them. But other than that, there's no way I would live there. It's just toxic. It's just a toxic mess there, and so I would warn anybody who's thinking about moving to the Philippines and has Dumaguete on your list of possibilities as far as where to live. I would rethink that. It's too small a community, and there's too much drama, and everybody knows everybody there because it's a small community. So if you've ever lived in a small town like I have, everyone knows everyone, and everybody knows what you're doing and what you've done. So there's no hiding, and it's no different than in Dumaguete. And with such a large population of expats there, it's gotten totally nuts, I tell you. I mean, absolutely crazy. But it's always been like that. Ever since I can remember, ever since I knew about Dumaguete as a city in the Philippines, all I've heard is negative things and toxic things. And it started out with, oh, you don't want to date a girl from Dumaguete because she's been passed around so many times by all these expats. And the saying was, you don't find a girl in Dumaguete, you wait your turn. I've heard several vloggers in Dumaguete say that before. So that in itself would cause me to take pause in any decision of moving there or even finding a girlfriend there. It's always been there since I remember, since I've known about that city. Now with the vloggers, the number of YouTubers that live in that Dumaguete area, Dumaguete and Valencia, it's just, I would guess per capita it's probably one of the larger areas for vloggers in the Philippines, and it's gotten to a point a couple of months ago where they started really attacking each other, and I thought it was entertaining to watch their YouTubes, their videos, but it got to a point where it got real ugly and real nasty and real toxic. And now you've got this issue with this guy that was a YouTuber, and he had a fairly new channel, but it really took off very well. because he did some things with other YouTubers, so that helps. But he was living with this Filipina and her daughter, and then they moved out of Dumaguete, and then he left. And from what I understand from everything I've read or heard about, that he was planning on moving back or going back to the U.S. at a certain point anyway. So this whole issue with her wasn't the reason he flew back. I guess he had that plan before, but I don't think he's coming back anytime soon, obviously, because of the allegations that were leveled against him by his former or his ex Filipina girlfriend. So that's scary stuff, guys. And you just got to be careful. Just know who you're dating, know who you're with before you make any commitment or anything like that, because you just never know. You're in a foreign country, and you're at the mercy of their laws. You're the one who needs to assimilate to their culture. So it's usually, in the U.S. or in the West, in your home country, it's innocent until proven guilty. That's usually. There's obviously the court of public opinion, but in the actual courts, you're innocent until proven guilty. Well, it may not be that case when you're living in another country. You're a visitor here. And if somebody accuses you of something, if a local accuses you, being a foreigner, of something egregious, that's tough. It's tough to prove that you're not guilty of whatever they accuse you of. So I don't know all the facts. I'm not taking any sides by any means, but it's a tough situation, and I would just warn everybody that is thinking about coming here and dating a Filipina, just to be real careful and be real sure before you make that commitment, especially that commitment of living together, and especially if they have children, because you just never know if everything goes south and your relationship falters and you break up. You just don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, you want to stay on the up and up. You don't want to have any problems. But if you don't know that person real well and you don't know what their intentions are, if they lose that income all of a sudden that you're giving her, they may resort to drastic measures, and you just never know. Now, that may be the case with this person. This Filipina may have resorted to drastic measures because her income has been cut off. I don't know the story. I don't know whether that's the case or whether there's any facts behind her accusations. Like I said, I don't know all the facts, and I'm not going to place any judgment one way or another. Now, if the guy, on the other hand, was doing something egregious, that's unacceptable. That's absolutely unacceptable. So, but I do know that people are starting to distance themselves from both of the couple, which is probably a good thing, because that's a real toxic situation, and you just don't want to get in the middle of that. But this video is more about warning you guys who are thinking about coming over to the Philippines and maybe having a home here, retire and finding a girl and getting married and having a family here. I want to warn you that you just make sure that you are positive that this person is the right one and it has all the right intentions. And you can't do that. I've said this a numerous amount of times on videos before. You can't judge the person by a long distance relationship, an LDR. You don't know until you're actually with that person for a number of weeks or months even. I've been in a relationship where it's been 7, 8 months, close to a year before we've even talked about moving in together. So you just got to know that person first, and you can't do it over over a dating site or WhatsApp or even FaceTime. When you're talking to them on a video, you don't know that person really. You really don't know that person. You don't know what their life is like behind that phone, behind that video. When they turn off that video, when they disconnect that call, you don't know what they're doing. And vice versa for my female Filipina viewers and subscribers, you don't know what his life is like once you get off the phone with them. And it could be just, they could be scamming you as much as that person may be scamming him. So you just don't know until you actually are with that person for a period of time. So that's my warning, guys. It's gotten real bad over in Dumaguete, or Dramaguete as I call it. The toxicity is really thick there. It's gotten really negative there. And for me, I'll go back there. I have a couple of friends I want to visit, and I haven't seen them for about a year. So I'll go back there and visit for a few days or a week. But there's no way in hell that I will ever think about living there, just because of what goes on there. And I'm a small channel, so I'm a small fish. So nobody pays attention to me really. So, but once you get big, boy, people start attacking you. And I tell you that being in Dumaguete, you become a target. And I just feel sorry for some of the vloggers there, some of the YouTubers there that I know personally, or I know of, or I subscribe to, because a lot of them are getting a bad rap because of everything else that's going on in that city around them. So I feel bad about that. But the main thing for this is I just want to warn you guys, if you're planning on coming out here anytime soon and moving, and you thought about Dumaguete as a place to live, I think twice, I think 2 times, maybe 3 times before I make that decision. Just some advice, unsolicited advice to you guys. But again, thanks again for watching. Make sure you put your comments down below. I would love to hear your opinions on all of this. If you've heard anything about this, if not, just your general opinions. I love to see them. Of course, keep them respectful. Try to keep names out of it if you could. I just don't want... I'm not one of those people that are pointing fingers at people and calling them out. I don't believe in all of that, because it's just not good. And so if you could be respectful, I'd appreciate that. Smash that like button if you like my content, and hit that notification bell too, so I can notify you when I post new videos. And until next time, mabuhay as always, and live life and enjoy. Thanks. Take care.